Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a beautiful day so far, and thanks so much for being here and joining me for another art video. In today's video, I'm going to be responding to a question that I frequently get asked about in regards to watercolor, and it's whether we should be using black or not, a ready-made black straight out of a pan or tube when it comes to painting with this medium. This video is going to serve as a kind of introduction for the video that I'm going to be sharing next Friday, in which I'm going to be going much more into depth into this topic, as well as providing specific color or pigment combinations that you can use to create beautiful, vibrant darks in your watercolor paintings. In the next video, I'm also going to be sharing very useful tips that you can use as you're creating the darkest darks in your watercolor paintings. So do stay tuned for that. As I provide my opinion on this topic today, I'm also going to be sharing the watercolor painting process for a toucan that I worked on this week. I thought this would be a great painting to go with this topic because, as you probably already know, toucans' bodies are mostly black, and I want to share with you what it is I would do in an actual painting process to replace the use of a ready-made black with a combination of different colors. I'm going to show you and explain what it is I did by creating a color mixture using 3 different pigments. In a bit, you're going to see how I even started painting this darkest area by laying down a very vibrant blue that I really wanted to shine through the darkest darks. Alright you guys, so very quickly before we get started, I want to send out a huge welcome to all you new people just getting to know me and my channel for the very first time. Welcome, I am super happy you're here, and consider subscribing because every single Friday I share a new video with art tips, drawing and painting tutorials, and encouragement for aspiring artists. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to click on that little notification bell so that YouTube can let you know whenever I publish a new video. Otherwise, you may or may not find out about them. And I also want to send out a huge thank you to all the members in my new community over on Patreon. Thank you so much, Andrea, Angie, Destiny, Frank, Ian, Jean, Jennifer, Lisa, Lisbeth, Charlotte, and Shannon. You guys are amazing, and thank you for being part of that super important project that I have going on over there that I'm working so hard on. So to begin, I would just like to share that I am a huge believer in learning the rules, or I don't really like the word rules, especially when it comes to art, but I really like learning the specific techniques and methods that are going to allow a medium to shine to its full potential before attempting to modify things, bring other supplies into the picture, or just pushing in a certain direction because that's the way you want to go stylistically. It's not that I don't like mixed media artwork or anything of the sort. I love it as well. But when I am trying to push myself and really improve in one specific medium, I really love learning from artists that I guess you could say are more traditionally trained and specialized in the medium. Even though many times the subject matter that these kinds of artists painted, or even the overall style or look of it, wasn't exactly what I was going for myself with my own art, I was able to learn about techniques and just gain a lot of knowledge that were invaluable for me in later on being able to develop my own techniques and my own style. When I was first getting started with this medium and I was starting to check out all of these resources, these videos, these books, these courses, one of the first things that I learned is that the majority of these artists don't believe in using either black or white. And 3 reasons why many traditionally trained watercolor artists stay away from using ready-made black like ivory black is because, number 1, there is very little pure black in nature. Another reason is because black can really muddy out, gray out, and dull out our vibrant colors, really killing that vibrancy that we're striving to achieve when it comes to watercolor. And finally, another reason is because when we're painting with watercolor, we want to create something very light and vibrant and glowy, and using black really leads to very stark, flat, heavy-looking shapes. Now, do I personally think that using black is wrong? Of course not. I don't think it's wrong. I think that if you like it, if you like the way that it looks, then go for it. I really enjoy creating purely grayscale studies myself using ready-made black, and not even only with watercolor, but also with oils and acrylics. But I save that for when I am creating those kinds of monochromatic studies. And I also feel like there are certain styles that really call for the use of black. And if that's you and that's the style that you're going for, then more power to you. But it's good to know about these things, especially because it can be very aggravating when things are happening or looking a certain way and we have no idea why this is. This gives us a chance to understand what may be happening and change our techniques so that there's a lot more of a chance that we'll be able to arrive at an outcome that we like. Now, in terms of the whites and the highlights when it comes to watercolor, I'm not really going to get into that very much in this video because I have already created a lot of past videos on that, and I'm going to make sure to link to a couple of those down below in the description box for you in case you want to go and check them out. So something I have mentioned in past watercolor videos is how this very special medium allows us to create very visually striking pieces that are very glowy and light at the same time. And we're really able to achieve these effects by using the whiteness and the beauty of the paper to our advantage in combination with watercolor's intrinsic characteristics of translucency and vibrancy, and making sure that we're creating a very large variety in values and in transparencies throughout our work, as well as using colors in dynamic, fun ways are really going to help our watercolor paintings pop. And the fact of the matter is that most of the blacks that we're able to find in commercial watercolor sets are very flat, dull, and even opaque. The different pigments used to create ready-made blacks are going to vary depending on the type of black that you choose, whether it's ivory black, Mars black, lamp black, etc. And it's also going to vary depending on the brand of watercolors that you're using. But even though some of these blacks may already be described by the brand as leaning a little bit towards the warm or the cool sides, if you choose to go for one of these ready-made blacks, I would highly recommend adding at least some other pigment to your mixture so that you can play around with the temperature and make it come to life. So there are a ton of different pigment combinations that you can use to create your own darks, and that's key here. Look at these color combinations as darks and not necessarily as blacks. So in the next video, next Friday, I'm going to be sharing a whole bunch of different color combinations that you can use. I'm also going to be showing you specific examples so that you can see in a practical way the difference, the visual difference between painting something using only a flat black as opposed to painting it using a rich, vibrant dark. I'm also going to be providing some tips on water control and paint to water ratios so that you can really get a very dark, saturated color, because I know that a lot of beginners struggle with this, with making a color look very, very dark. Alright, so in terms of painting the body of this toucan, the darkest areas, basically I decided on a color combination. I did lots of tests prior to starting with the painting process. As I have explained in other videos, it's very important to plan the colors that you're going to be using before actually starting to paint. And after doing lots of little tests with different color combinations, I decided to go for a turquoise, which was the same blue that you saw me use in the beginning to create that kind of blue underpainting for this black area in the toucan's body. And I combined the turquoise with a cadmium red deep and a burnt umber. This very, very dark color mixture allowed me to then create a very large variety in values and transparencies within this area. As always, I made sure to start from very light and translucent and work my way towards the very darkest darks. And as you can see, I went for my 1-inch flat brush in order to give the kind of texture or just a visual sensation of feathers. I did my best not to go overboard with this texture though because it's very easy to do. In terms of the other supplies that I used to create this painting, I am working on Arches Hot Press 140-pound watercolor paper. I am using my Winsor & Newton Cotman line pans, and of course my Royal and Langnickel Zen line brushes. Links to all of these supplies are going to be left for you down below in the description box in case you want to go and check them out. I'm going to leave you now to enjoy the rest of this time lapse. Alright everyone, that is it for today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoy using black, if you don't, what colors you use to replace black, or your general thoughts about this topic because I'm really interested in knowing. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I would absolutely love a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video because it really helps my channel get in front of more people. And don't forget to subscribe so that I can see you next Friday. Talk to you soon.